There's been a boom in bicycle use around the country, and Darwin is embracing the move to a greener form of transport. But with Darwin's cycling culture on the rise, are our roads and bike paths up to scratch? Eleni Roussos reports.
Take a drive around Darwin and you're bound to come across a cyclist sharing the road with you. Love them or hate them, their presence in Darwin is growing strong.
Cycling's enjoying a renaissance, certainly in the last 5 years. I think just a group of people getting together, sharing a sport that they all enjoy. You can get on the front and train hard, or you can just hang on down the back, drafting.
While the weekend might be a chance to sleep in for some, for these cyclists it's an opportunity to hit the road. Around Darwin, hundreds of people take part in bunch rides like this one, which usually last for a few hours. After slugging it out, many of the riders pull up at coffee shops for a well-deserved latte.
I'd highly recommend it. It's just a healthy way of getting out and about. It's a good way of meeting friends. It's environmentally friendly.
It's about going out on a Saturday morning and just with people that I've known for a long time and just having a bit of a laugh and staying fit and just a little bit of competition too. It's good fun.
Bunch riders aren't the only ones making an impact on Darwin roads. More and more people are now choosing to ditch their cars and ride to work instead.
At first it was a no choice sort of thing because I didn't have a car, and so I had a bike and that was the only way of getting around. And ever since I've got a car I still ride in just because it's a really good way to start the day.
Byron Wilson is one of hundreds of cyclists commuting to and from work every day. Rain or shine, he's on his bike regardless and says he's hooked.
It's a lot better than, say, sitting in traffic and waiting to get to work and being sort of a bit angry. On a bike, you're not waiting for anybody, and so it's sort of smooth sailing into work, and you feel a lot better when you get there.
Works like this one back.
With more people pedalling to work, bike shops are enjoying a roaring trade. Rebecca Thyne sells bikes in Darwin City and says sales soared 5 years ago when petrol prices went up.
Even with the recent economic instability, the bike sales were stable throughout, if not increased, because people were using their cars less or even selling their cars and turning to cycling instead.
Sharing the road with motorists certainly has its dangers. 2 years ago, a cyclist was knocked off his bike during a hit-and-run accident on Bagot Road.
A car was driving along the middle lane here, swerved over into the left lane, collected me and kept on going.
Bagot Road is a no-go zone for many of Darwin's cyclists. They say a dedicated bike path should be built along the road.
There's Bagot Road or Trower Road, which I avoid. It's a very busy road. There's a lot of cars there. And there's also a lot of concealed driveways. So when you're riding along the footpath, you don't really know if there's cars.
To keep up with demand, the Darwin City Council is spending big to build new bike paths and create dedicated cycle lanes on some roads. The Territory Government has also committed millions of dollars in this year's budget to improve the cycle network.
Part of this strategy will include some secure cycle lock-up facilities in some of our car parks, so people who come into the city in a commuter sense will have somewhere to safely store their bike.
But cyclists say existing bike paths should also be looked at.
Often the bike paths stop. There's a great bike path along Dickwood Drive, for example, but then when you get into Fanny Bay, it just disappears for a couple of 100 metres and then restarts.
Even gaps in existing bike paths won't stop the ever-increasing number of people swapping 4 wheels for 2 and choosing the energy-efficient path to get around.
You save money on petrol, on car maintenance, on servicing and all that sort of stuff, yeah. And, you know, you don't have to pay for gym costs if you want to stay in shape.
Eleni Roussos reporting.